If you're planning to sell your home, then one of the biggest expenses associated with your sale is likely going to be the commissions that you're going to pay to the agents involved in the transaction. In real estate, there are two types of agents. One is called the seller agent, and another one is called a buyer agent. Each agent represents a different part of the transaction. In most of the United States and in Texas, the sellers, the home sellers, the homeowners, are the ones who are expected to pay both their own agent and the agent that represents the buyer. Even though it is expected, the amount of compensation or the commission that those agents will receive is negotiable. Let me briefly explain how the commissions were calculated prior to August 2024, what changed in August 2024, and how I advise you approach commissions with your home sale. Prior to August 2024, the real estate agents were forced or were expected or were required to state the amount of buyer agent compensation in any marketing that they made on a property. And once that offer of compensation or advertisement of compensation to the buyer agent was stated in the marketing, the seller was obligated to pay that amount of compensation, whether or not they received a good offer or a bad offer, as long as the commission, the buyer agent commission was stated in writing in the MLS, the seller was forced to pay that amount, even if the buyer made a very low offer. There was significant court challenges to the fixed amount of commission to the buyer agents from the home sellers, because they felt like if the agent did not do a very good job in delivering them a full price offer, then they did not need to pay a full commission on a low offer. That went to court and the court agreed. And so now the way that the buyer agent commission is handled is the following. Number one, starting from August 2024 going forward, you no longer have the obligation to offer any kind of compensation to the buyer agents at all if you don't want to offer a compensation. And number two, whatever compensation you offer cannot be stated in a public marketing material that could obligate you to pay a set amount. So for example, we can no longer put on the MLS, buyer agent commission is 3%, and now you are stuck paying 3% to everybody who makes, or to any agent who submits an offer that you accept. The way that it's handled now is slightly differently, is when you advertise a home for sale, in the MLS, we do not put any information about expected commission to the buyer agents at all. The buyer agents who are interested in showing your home reach out to us and ask us, is the buyer agent commission offered by the seller? And if it is offered by the seller, then what is the amount of the commission? There are many different theories between, this is a very new legal development that has not been tested in courts too much yet. And there are many different approaches to answering the question of whether the commission is offered and how much is the commission. Let me show you the current marketing authorization, the current listing agreement that the Texas Realtors put together to kind of walk on eggshells, legal eggshells, so we don't accidentally promise something to the buyer agent and violate the outcome of the lawsuit or the new legal requirements, and how you can use that new change in the approach to the buyer agent commissions to your favor during the sale. Now, I forgot to mention that in Texas, the standard commission for the sale of the property is 6%, with the broker splitting the commission. The buyer agent gets 3% and the seller agent gets 3%. With that used to be the case up until the August of 2024. Now the buyer agent commission is negotiable, and let's see how we can formulate that using the new marketing authorization. Give me just 1 second. Okay, I hope you can see my screen right here. So this is the section that deals with compensation to the agents in the new marketing authorization from Texas Realtors. It consists of 2 sections. Section A, right here, includes a set commission to both buyer and seller agents. So for example, we could say that the buyer agent would get, the seller agent would get 3% or a flat fee of some other amount. And the other broker being the broker representing the buyer, would get, let's just say, 3% or 2.5%, or some set amount that you authorize me as an agent, as your agent, to disclose. That is option A of how to handle the buyer agent commission discussion. A second option B, is the one that I actually really recommend, because it gives you the most flexibility on the topic of buyer agent compensation. Option B just says that the broker fee without compensation to the other broker, which means that we're only stating in writing the commission that I or my broker will receive upon a successful completion of the sale. It does not promise or puts in writing any other commission that would be paid to any other agent. Now, even though since August of 2024, the sellers are no longer required to pay any commission at all if they don't feel like it, the reality is, of course, is that for a sale to happen, there are 2 parties that will need to be involved. It would need to be a buyer and a seller. Otherwise, we don't have a sale. And in most cases, 95% of the cases, the buyers do have an agent representing them, showing them properties, helping them to secure a loan, making sure that they don't do anything unexpected during the loan underwriting process, handling inspections, and doing a variety of other things that the buyers need help with during the purchase process. Obviously, the buyer agents do expect to be compensated by someone for their work. In some markets where there is an extreme lack or extreme deficit of homes for sale, there are many more buyers than there are sellers for a specific property, and that allows the sellers to tell the buyers, look, we are happy to select you as a person who will purchase our home, but we want you to pay your own agent either in part or in full, reducing the burden on us. That happens and that argument could be successful in those cases where the number of buyers who are looking to buy is 2 to 3 times higher than the number of homes available for sale, and the buyers go into a bidding war. During the bidding war, the buyers who can concede the agency commission or other things, or buyer agent commission or other things to the sellers, typically win the bidding war. In other parts of the state where there are equal number of buyers or sellers, or their number of homes for sale is actually higher than the number of home buyers shopping, the sellers are now the ones who have to compete for the buyers. And the sellers therefore lose the leverage of telling the buyers, hey, in order for us to select your offer, we want you to pay your buyer agent either in part or in full. Therefore, in the situation where you're not the only property of that kind, or where we don't have like 5, 6, 7, 8 offers submitted to us at the same time, chances are to attract the home buyers who are happy to purchase their home, you will need to negotiate with them how you're going to divide the buyer agent commission. If we have, let's just say, 10, 15 offers on a property, very likely we will be able to negotiate a big reduction in our split to the buyer agent commission. If we have, let's just say, only 2 to 3 offers, and any one of those buyers could say, if you're not willing to pay my agent, then I'm going to go look for another home, you will have to make a choice whether it's more important for you to maintain that relationship and accept that offer and go under a contract and pay the buyer agent commission. Typically, it's 3% still. They expect to be paid 3%. Or during the negotiation, negotiate it down to maybe 2.5%. So in the Dallas-Fort Worth area of Texas, the buyer agents really expect to be paid 3% in most cases. Anytime I see, when I'm representing many sellers, and anytime I try to mention, let's just say 2.5%, 2%, the buyer agents tend to ask if it would be possible to negotiate it higher. And they present the paperwork with a higher commission already being included, making it very difficult, in fact, to negotiate the contract the way that the seller wants. So my recommendation is to take the following strategy. When the buyer agents call to inquire about the property, they typically will ask, is the seller willing to pay commission? And we can always say with the full offer, with the full price offer, he's open to doing so. And when they ask what is the commission that the seller is offering to the buyer agent, my recommendation is, say with the full price offer, we can offer up to 3%. Up to 3%. Not 3%, but up to 3%. Or with a lower offer, then please present your offer, and then we will discuss and decide how much of the buyer agent commission we can accommodate based on the offer amount. That sidesteps the buyer agents not being, that sidesteps the problem of buyer agents immediately excluding us from the showings. Because if the buyer agent doesn't know if he's going to get paid for showing the house, in case the buyer goes under contract, they will simply not show the house. They will take their buyer somewhere else. So it's very important during the marketing process not to alienate the buyer agents and make sure that they all come to the property and show the buyer the property. That's your agenda number one, because the more people see the property, the higher the number of offers, potential offers that you'll receive, the higher the chances of multiple offer scenarios. And when we go into multiple offers, into a bidding war, this is where we can negotiate down either a higher price for the property to accommodate the buyer agent commission, or a lower agent commission if we have multiple offers. So that's my recommendation on how to handle this part of the marketing authorization. Not to do paragraph 5, but to do paragraph 5B where only a seller agent commission is specified. Now, for 72 sold cases, we do ask for 3% seller agent commission simply because of the sheer number of services that we provide that typically traditional agents do not even provide. So most traditional agents charge 3% seller agent commission and do only maybe 1/3 or even 1/4 of the services that 72 sold program delivers. Regardless of the additional services, it was a decision made by 72 sold leadership to maintain our prices at 3%, which means that you are paying the same as for a traditional agent while receiving about 2 to 3 times more services and more personalized expertise than you would from a traditional agent. I hope that explanation was not too long and not too muddled. Let me know if you have additional questions on the buyer agent or the seller agent commission. Now, all commissions in Texas are negotiable. If you have any questions about how it would be possible to negotiate either the buyer or the seller agent commission, let me know and we will be happy to have that conversation. Thank you so much, and I will see you at the next video.